Yes, indeed, it's a Jamaican explosion on a Monday evening, and it's my pleasure to be here with you today. I just want to say welcome to the program this evening, and we have some very important guesses that will be stopping by here this evening. Antonio Dawson, and he will be here with me momentarily. Just want to let him know, go ahead and turn your camera on. I don't see your cameras on, so I could get you on screen with me. I see that you are on, but you need to turn your camera on so I could put you live on screen with me. Yeah, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go, there you go. Okay, and folks, we're gonna have a very interesting show for you. I'll have Mr. Antonio in just a second. Just want to say a very pleasant good evening to each and every one, and welcome to a Jamaican Explosion for yet another Monday evening. Remember, we'll be going from 8 o'clock and we'll be taking you all the way to 10 o'clock this evening. Oh, we got some very important folks that will be stopping by this evening to join us, including none other than Miss Joan Edgehill from This is Jamaica program, the president of the Jamaican American Association of Central Florida. She'll be stopping by here to speak to us. And of course, we'll also have Mr. Clarence Reynolds from down in Florida, who will be filling us in on some of the happenings within the diaspora. So we have that coming up. And later on this evening, of course, we got none other than our Strength to Breed person right here, none other than Mr. Kabian Brown. So as you get ready to start it, share the link, tell a friend that we are on, and we have some very interesting things that are happening in the area, and I'll fill you in on those things as we get along in the program this evening. Pastor Rob here, and this is a Jamaican Explosion. Stick and stay, don't you touch that dial. We got things going for you right here at the Jamaican Explosion. Yes, indeed. As I promised, folks, we have in the manor here with us today, Mr. Antonio Dawson. And welcome to the Jamaican Explosion screens this evening. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. Loving the vibes at the same time. Yes, loving the musical instrument in the background, and just so grateful to be here.
Yes, sir. So, wow. I can't even begin to speak about the accolades that you carry, or that defines you, so to speak. But I know that you will be in the Atlanta area this coming weekend. Okay, so I want to just pretty much speak to you a little bit about yourself and the things that you do. Who are you? And there's something that I'm very, very, very interested in as about on your resume that I'll be asking you to speak to us about here. Okay, so Antonio, which is kind of strange because I want to say Antonio, but
Yes.
it's Antonio.
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of unique. It's kind of unique. So, was that the given name by your parents, or was that you changed it to that?
It was actually the accident at the registry.
And of course, you're Jamaican, right?
From Jamaica, yes.
Okay.
So my parents
Yeah.
went to register me, and I mean, it was supposed to be Antonio, and whoever did the register put Antonio, and I only found
Yes.
out about 12 years later.
But it's kind of unique, though. You must say,
Yeah,
right?
I fell in love with it after a while.
Okay, after a while, it took some getting used to. Okay,
Hmm.
Antonio. So the first thing I want to speak with you about, and we'll get back to it again, but we'll mention it right here, is that event that you're having in the Atlanta area. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about that event at the front page. Hmm.
Brilliant. So at the front page, happening this weekend, the 19th of October, is my
Hmm.
first international Seed for Success conference. Now, Seed for Success started in 2020 during the global pandemic. I wrote this book, God Seed for Success. God Seed for Success, which was designed to be a 21-day devotional to transform mindset from drought to growth. So I'm a
Hmm.
psychotherapist. I'm also a man of faith. And what this
Hmm.
book does is to incorporate the principles around psychology, the principles
Hmm.
around faith, and also incorporating things around a passion of mine, which is agriculture. It looks at how to incorporate these principles into your life to transform your mindset. It gives you practical tools. This is not a conference that is just going to be around just hearing about things to motivate you. It's
Hmm.
moving you from motivation to transformation. It's actually giving you practical psychological tools, spiritual tools that you can incorporate into your life and support you to activate your growth mindset, build mental resilience, and give you skills that will build your confidence. Because we know there's so many people out here who wants to do well, but oftentimes they hear the motivational stuff, they are inspired for a moment but don't have the practical tools. And what this conference does, it bridge the gap between a motivational conference or just a conference that tells you, you can do well, but actually gives you the skills that you need to do this. Because as a therapist, I support people every single day, giving them strategies to overcome depression, anxiety. But I've been thinking, how do I support people who are not necessarily suffering from depression, anxiety, to
Hmm.
unlock the greater things within them? And how can we use these evidence-based principles that I've been using in therapy to allow it to become a more mainstream tool that people can use? So we've been developing these strategies over the last 5 years, and now we're having this conference that we think in the USA to help change it mindset here, as we've been doing in the UK.
Okay, so you have brought it to the US, and is this your first stop in the US, or have you stopped at several different places before?
My first stop in the US, I was here earlier this year,
Okay,
and I thought, it just came to me that this is something I need to bring here.
okay, very good. And I know we're going to benefit from having it here. And I just want to let the folks know that Seed for Success conference transforming mindset for greatness taking place this Saturday, October 19th. And of course, the location is going to be at the front page event, 8010 Rockbridge Road, Latona, Georgia, 30058. And it begins at 10:30 a.m. and it will continue to 12 noon. And then I believe there's an intermission there, and then it starts again at 12 to 3 p.m. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, it does. It is. It is.
Yes, yes. Okay, wow. It's a lot of great information there. And tell me, how long have you been in the mental health arena? How long have you been sharing? Mental health seems to be the buzzword of 2024. you
Well,
know.
Well, for me, I think most of my career has been working in mental health because I worked as a police officer in Jamaica, and that's where the passion for mental health developed. Actually, working in
Mhm.
the streets of Jamaica as a police officer, patrolling the streets,
Okay.
I often saw young people who struggle with their mental health. I often saw people who were really in difficult situation. I really wondered why people were in the stage that they're in. Even when it comes to crime, I often wonder why people create really got involved in crime, and most of the things were reactive. I wanted to take a proactive approach. So I decided
Mm,
to study psychology to look at how to support people to navigate through life difficulties before they commit crime or before they end up on the street. And
mhm,
I studied psychology at the University of the West Indies. In
mhm,
2016, I migrated to the UK and I started working in forensic mental health, working with people with complex mental health difficulties like
mhm,
personality disorder, different personality disorder, who had a history of committing crime but were struggling with mental health difficulties. And even at that point, I think, what more can I do? Because
mhm.
that's also reactive. So
Yes.
I went back to study my postgraduate, first postgraduate in the UK was around early intervention, which is really looking at primary care. In the UK, we call it primary care, where you're supporting people from the start to have mild to moderate symptoms of depression or anxiety. So the
Mhm,
moment you start to feel stressed or anxious, that's when you need to make the step, not waiting until it becomes really complex and difficult, where you're section under the mental hack. And what we know that Black people are most likely to be impacted by most mental health difficulties. So I really wanted to support my community. That's been my journey,
mhm.
over the years, really trying to look at how to do things earlier rather than
Yeah.
waiting till late. And this conference is even taking it a step further. Even before
Okay.
you start to feel depressed or anxious, I'm actually giving you tools before
Tools.
that. I'm
That's
giving the
correct.
skills that, and socializing it to how to take control of the mind, understand the different unhelpful thinking habits you might have, understanding how to navigate through the unhelpful thinking process that you might get trapped into, and
Mhm.
help you to really make that change from an early standpoint before you actually get to the point where you're overly stressed, depressed, or anxious.
Okay, I love that proactive approach. A lot of times we tend to act after serious events have already taken place, and many folks might be wondering, well, what could I have done to prevent that?
Yes.
And one way we can and practice a proactivity is actually getting ourselves educated and informed about the mental health issue. Okay, and I'm so glad that you are actually bringing that to the here on Saturday, and I myself might run over, most
Have a
likely
pleasure.
will run over and make sure I'm here. I'm there to experience some of this. Okay, and yeah, so it's gonna be and this one is for everyone, right? Not only for
For
men,
everyone.
but
For
for
everyone.
everyone.
It's for
Hmm.
everyone. I think, as I mentioned, this one, the whole purpose of Seed for Success is
Yeah,
planting seeds to transform mindset from drought to growth and
yeah.
support people to transform their mindset for greatness. So if you are someone that's interested in developing yourself, if you're
Hmm.
someone that wants to understand how to activate a growth mindset, if you're
Hmm.
someone that wants to build your mental resilience, if you're
Hmm.
someone that wants to improve your confidence, if you're someone that wants just more out of life, you need to be in this space, because I'm going to give you the tools that has transformed my life as someone who's overcome many challenges as a young man growing up in Jamaica, overcoming the
Hmm.
odds, to going to UK, being an award-winning therapist and doing so much great things. I want other people to have these skills, and I'm actually giving it, in a way where anyone who wants to succeed in life can come into this space. I believe environment has a lot to do with who we become.
Yes,
I
yes.
believe the space that we find ourselves in have a lot to do. We believe the people that you connect with have a lot to do with who you become. Because just like seed, if the seed is not planted in the right environment, how can it become great? How can it produce
That's
fruit? So you
correct.
need to be in the environment that will make you great. And we're creating that environment this Saturday here in Lithuania. You can't miss it. It's going to be great.
Okay, so we're looking forward to that, and more about Mr. Antonio Dawson here, and wow, I saw also as I was going through the bio that you have a speak black man movement. Am I saying it correctly?
Right.
Wow, 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 wow. Talk to me about that, because if there is a group of individuals that need to be spoken to. uh, uh, it's always what I'll say men in general, but I'd say the black man, of course, because there are so many issues that affect us in society,
Yes.
and many things that we have to deal with, even as black men.
Hmm.
So Tell me about this Speak Black Man movement. How did it get started? What's behind it, and so forth?
So, I mean, the Speak Black Man actually came out of me migrating to the UK, because prior to migrating to the UK, I never realized the struggles that impact black men. And when
Wow.
I realized that black men are endangered species, I recognize that we are most likely to experience most of the difficulties around mental. We're least likely to access psychological support. We're most
Mhm,
likely to be sanctioned under the Mental Health Act. We're most likely to be diagnosed with severe mental health difficulties. We're most likely to be found in prison. We're more likely to be absent from our family. There's so many odds against the black man. So
mhm,
from
mhm,
I really started to study, I mean, black men mental health in the UK when I became a therapist. And I recognized that the service that I worked in didn't understand black men. They didn't have systems to support black men. So I had to then design systems within the service, develop group to support black men. And when the
mhm,
pandemic came in 2020, I realized that while the service was locked down, I realized I could not keep my work confined to the service that I was working with. I needed
mhm,
to extend the work that I was doing to the wider cross section of men, because there's so much men were struggling in that time. And that gave birth to the Speak Black Men movement. And from 2021, I've been having conferences every single year that supports black men to improve their mental health. And we're gonna have that on the 9th of November. If you're interested
wow.
in your
Yes,
community,
sir.
you can kind of on my platform. We do it online every year. We have a wide following when it comes to the Speak Black Man movement. We do it every year. We also have workshops. I do one-to-one therapy. There's a lot of things that I do with black men to support black men first, to normalize the conversation around mental health, because in our community there's a lot of stigma and barriers as relates to mental health difficulty. What I do is to normalize the conversation. Everyone has mental health, but not everyone has mental illness. And if we start to communicate about this, men start to understand the importance of communicating and talking about the challenges that we face. Because it's so important to recognize that vulnerability is often our greatest strength, not our weakness. When we start to talk about the challenges that we're going through, the hurt that we've been through, the trauma that we've experienced, that's when we're getting back our power. What we've been socialized to do is to suppress the experiences that we've had. And the more we suppress these thoughts and these feelings, what
Mhm,
happens is that just like a spring, anything that you push down actually comes right back.
right.
So it doesn't come back out, you vocalize, but it might come out in your action. It might come out, you treat your children, your partner. And so we want to change this narrative and support black men to help to develop healthy relationship, learning ways to effectively communicate, and ultimately, restore the future for the next generation to be more healthier. And if you're from the Caribbean and you've studied Caribbean history, you'll understand that a lot of the challenges that we face as black men came from the plantation system. On the
That's correct.
plantation, black men were not given any rights to speak. We
That's
were
correct.
we were taken away from our liberty to communicate. And other barriers that we face goes back to a
Wow.
plantation system. So we want to break the transgenerational barriers, and we want to
Wow.
create new patterns. We want to rewire our mind,
Yes,
and
yes.
to actually understand who they are, not who they've been socialized to become, and create your own sense of self. Because some of us we're operating like our grandparents and our parents, and we need to become who we decide to be, not continuing a culture that is not working for us now.
Break the cycle, so to speak. But
Breaking that.
you said something very interesting there that I'd like to just point out to the audience, and it comes from the Caribbean, and I'll probably say from Jamaica too, that mental health. You said mental health is everyone has mental health issue, but everybody is not mentally
Ill.
sick,
Yeah. Yeah.
ill. And I think for many years in Jamaica, when we had people that and saw people that had mental health issues, everybody that said, well, I'm crazy, you're mad, send them go Bellevue, or you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
good to know that we have come to realize and understand the importance of mental health, even in our communities, within our societies, within our different countries, and know definitely that someone can have just a mental health issues. It doesn't necessarily mean that the person is crazy.
Yes.
So I just wanted to bring out that point that you made, right? That's a very strong, powerful point. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here this evening on Jamaican Explosion, and with me is Antonio Dawson, and he has a conference coming up this Saturday, and I'll put the flyer up so you'll know more about it. It's 8:21 right now, and do remember though, I have a chat overlay. So if you're on my YouTube page and you like to ask Antonio a question, and you want to go onto my YouTube page that I sent out my link, if you're on my YouTube link, you could always come on and you could always link in and ask him a question. I'll put it on chat right here. So if you're on YouTube and you want to chat with us, I'll turn the chat overlay on. As soon as you come on to the chat area, a button lights up here, and I know that you're on, and you're able to ask Antonio any questions that you might want to ask him. So you could go to my YouTube channel, and if you're watching the program from YouTube, you could ask a question to Mr. Antonio Dawson today. Okay, so Mr. Dawson, all right, I like the idea, and I like the idea that not only will you be here for this conference that's coming up on Saturday, but you will also be coming back in October to deal with issues concerning men.
So that's actually going to be online. This Pete Blackman conference is going to be online. So wherever you are in the world, you can join wherever you are.
Okay, so if it's going to be online, that would be great. I would love to get the links for those, and actually probably even do a broadcast to Jamaican Explosion special, and while you do the conference. So we could work on that. We could work on that because, definitely. Okay, so once again, folks, we're inviting you out on this Saturday, October 19th. And the place will be the Front Page Event, 8010 Rockbridge Road, Litonia, Georgia, 30058. The time for the conference will be 10:30 a.m. going to 12 noon, and there will be a brunch and a little bit of networking there as we meet and greet each other, and from 12 noon on to 3 p.m. So you want to come out and check it out, okay? And I want to say a very big shout out going out to Miss Pauline down there at the Front Page, a good friend of mine, and I know that you will be well taken care of. The environment will be a wonderful environment for the conference, okay? So what's next, Antonio? Have you done any of these conferences? I know you said in England. Have you actually done any of these conferences in Jamaica?
So Jamaica is the next stop. Jamaica is actually the next stop. Jamaica.
All right.
We literally just spoke about it, and it's been a vision of mine to take it home.
Wow.
But I think all the things that I've learned in the UK over the last 8 years, it's really packaging me to really think about how to give back to Jamaica. And I think there's so much ideas I have that can help to shift the mental health landscape in Jamaica, and also to inspire the people. I'm known in Jamaica. I do lots of things like motivational things over the years online. Back home know me, so I want to go back home, and I want to do some great work. So definitely we could all go. We could Jamaica, the Raiders, we could go down. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's make some plans to do that and go down and and present all of this great. We just don't want to keep it into the States and into the England and so forth like that. We want to bring it back to the homeland, so to speak, And on a serious note, though, there's a lot of there's a need. There's a need for this. There's such a need for this down in Jamaica, and also I want to commend you on your years of serving as a policeman in Jamaica. I want to commend you, and because whenever we have someone that has been of service on the Highland, or in the army, the police force, or so forth like that, we have to, as we say in Jamaica, big you up. You know what I'm saying? For the time that you spend there and the service that you have granted to the country. Okay, yes, folks, Antonio Dawson here, and we have a special section at the end called The Strength to Breed, and we speak a whole lot with Mr. KB and Brown, done by put forward by a gentleman by the name of Mr. Peter Gracie, and he's a famous Jamaican poet, and he does a poem called "The Strength to Breed." Go look it up and take, and so the segment that I do at the end of the show, what that KB and Brown, and he's a licensed just like yourself, and we do quite a bit of speaking about mental health. Last month was mental health awareness of suicide, and we've been following it so far. So you're right on time with your message here to us. And wow, what a wonderful conference is going to be on Saturday. I want to thank you for stopping by here and speaking with me this evening. And it's a wonderful. This won't be the last, though. This won't be the last. Okay. we have some things to do together, and I'm glad you brought it to the Atlanta area. I'm glad it's at the front page area on Saturday. So looking forward to coming down and sharing in that experience. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the audience before we leave this evening, Mr. Dawson?
Yes, thank you again for the opportunity. I'm really grateful and delighted to be here. And also just to share with your audience that, listen, wherever you are under the sound of my voice, I sincerely believe that every single person out there, you're a seed for success designed for greatness. It
Wow.
doesn't what struggle you're going through right now. It doesn't matter how dark or difficult or horrible your situation is. Like a seed that is buried in a dark earth, you can emerge from that situation. You can find your place in society. You can let your light shine. You can become more than a conqueror with the right support, with the right knowledge, with the right understanding. There is so much more inside of you that needs to come out. And I'm here to support you with that. Join me this Saturday. Invest in yourself. Give yourself that 3 hours. Come on down, spend that time to learn strategies to transform your mindset for greatness. I believe it's going to be a great time for change, a great time to challenge yourself, and a great time to grow. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. God bless.
Okay, Antonio, I know with all that rhetoric there and all that encouragement there, we're supposed to be pumped up when we leave there on Saturday, yeah? Ready for the
That's
World
just the
Series.
tip of the iceberg. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
It seems like I'll have to have you back several times just to pump us up here and keep us going. I definitely enjoyed this interview. Thank you for taking the time out, and thank you, Miss Pauline. I wish she was on chat because I would big her up with that. But anyways, we could big her up.
Listen, I have to jump in and big up Miss Pauline. Miss Pauline has been my mom since 2025, 2005, 2005.
Wow.
When I started Homewood, just to let people know that when I started Homewood, my parents didn't have the money to send me to school, and I applied for a scholarship that was being put on by Atlanta chapter with Miss Pauline being
Mhm.
one of the head person at the time. And when I got that scholarship, that's when my life changed. My life
Wow.
changed from that scholarship. I was able to finish high school, graduated as the most outstanding student in academics, and went on to studying and doing great things. Miss Pauline and all the persons in Atlanta who contributed to that scholarship has made me the man I am today. I'm so grateful and I'm so humbled. And the whole Atlanta chapter, thank you so much for believing in me and for everyone that has actually taken a chance on me. That's why I'm giving back. My entire desire is to ensure that there are much more people that their seed can become great because someone believe in them and nurture them with the right nutrients.
Okay, Antonio. Wow, it's just been a pleasure to have you here. Homewood past student, huh? And I know they have a nice Homewood celebration here. I missed it this year, but I know that there's a lot of representatives. We're very proud of Homewood folks in the Atlanta area, and they're doing great things. And you're just another one that we're learning about. And keep on doing what you're doing,
Thank
and
you.
keep on being a light in this world as you go forward with the gift that you have been given. Keep on spreading it. I could see the enthusiasm. I could on your face. I could hear it in your voice. So I want to encourage you, as you have encouraged us this evening, to continue to do the work. And I'll see you on Saturday. Okay.
I'm
All right.
excited to see you. I'm looking forward to shaking your hands. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
sir.
this opportunity. All the best on your show. May it grow and reach people in far places. Continue to lift the banner of Jamaica. Love the energy. Love the atmosphere. God bless.
Thank you so much, sir. You have a blessed evening now. Okay.
All
Very
right.
good. Very good. Yes, folks. There we have it. Antonio Dawson. Wow. What a treat we had this evening with this young man that has stopped by here this evening. And I would encourage each and every one of us that are available to go down this Saturday to the front page uh, event center, and we'll experience that great conference. Coming up in a second, we're going to have Miss Joan Edgehill, our next guest. She'll be coming up here pretty soon. And in case you didn't know, that you are in tune to Jamaican Explosion. Pastor Rob with you on a Monday evening. And I'm glad you took the time this evening just to stop in and enjoy the show this evening. I want to say a big ups and shout out to all of you all, because I see that you have logged on, that are watching this evening, and I'm glad that you are here with us this evening. Let's hear a little bit of music before we bring Miss Joan on. I can't wait till she come on representing This Is Jamaica this evening. Okay, all right. Yes, indeed, on a Monday evening, Pastor Rob, we are with you. And I have with me none other than Miss Joan H. Hill. So
Yes, good evening.
hey,
It's been a while, but it's so good to be back.
good to see you on the Jamaican Explosion stage again.
Yes.
Once again. Whoa, so you are quite a busy person with all those great titles and so forth like that. So, Miss Joan, welcome to us again. And
Yeah.
fill us in on what's been going on with you since the last time we spoke with you.
Lots of good stuff. I just got back from Barbados, celebrated
Mhm.
my birthday there. And
Okay, now.
it was awesome. It was one of my best birthdays. I really was focused on enjoying myself while I was there. I was present. I didn't worry about what was going on elsewhere. I
Mhm.
just yes. And since I came back, I'm still celebrating my September birthday in October.
When you get a little older, you have to celebrate for a couple of months.
Yes, a year.
Right,
God is good. Yes, God is good.
okay, so I see that you are the vice president of This
Mhm.
is Jamaica. Wow, and are you going to fill us in on some of the things that are happening with This is Jamaica? What
Yes.
competition and so forth like that? And on a weekly basis, we have someone stop in and speak to us on the This is Jamaica uh, 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 competition, and you're going to just do your share of filling in here. So,
Yes.
so go ahead
It's going very well. The
Mhm,
competition, it's now there's a cutoff, so
mhm,
it's no more registration. That's over.
mhm,
However, we are asking that the students who registered present their videos
mhm,
before November the 3rd. That's the
mhm,
cutoff for the actual videos. We
mhm.
have so far like 60 or more, I think. But
Wow.
yes, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it again. you know, because last year was the first time that I was really involved in it,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
it was tremendously fun. We had our members. We all took part in in listening to the videos and deciding which ones we preferred. We
Mm.
weren't the final say, but it helped, you know, because each of us had an opportunity to decide who we liked the best or who we thought was the best. It was amazing. I'd like to tell you a little bit about all the people who are in on our board as well. So we'll
Okay,
start with the board members. I had to write it down because I did not want to forget anyone. So of
okay.
course, our founder, Mr. Peter Gracie,
Gracie.
our beautiful president, Miss Adriana Clark. I am the VP, Miss
Mhm.
Joan Edgehill, our secretary, who you know well, Miss Nadine Dixon. Then we have Director of Public Relations, Miss Mia Allman. You also know her.
Of course.
Special, yeah, Special Products Chair is Mr. Cornell Bunting. Then we have Ambassador Chair, Miss Sophia Nicholson. Then our board members are, let's see, Mr. Dervin Malcolm.
Yes, Mr.
Doc,
Durbin.
yes, Dr. Andrea Thorpe.
Mhm.
And some of our ambassadors include Mr. Oliver Samuels.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Miss Tanya Hernandez. You know
Of
her well
course, yeah.
too.
Good friend of
And
mine.
yeah, another one is Mr. Ralston Barrett. He's
Yes,
quite new. And then yourself, of course,
yes, of
Master
course.
Robert Shaw. We have Mr. Wayne Hall, Miss Yvonne McCoy. She's new, and we're really looking forward to working with her too.
Mm.
Then we have child ambassadors. You
Okay.
know, last year's winner, Marcia Dale. And
Mhm.
then we have Marion Morgan from the previous year and Courtney Greaves from the very first year. So this is our fourth year. So we're really excited to see who's going to win this year. Which of our young people will win this year?
And I must tell you, Joan, that I'm excited to see who will win, but I'm
Yeah,
also excited in getting some most of the contestants that we can, even if
yeah,
because I believe they are all winners. It's just that we'll
yeah,
have two people that's going to come out ahead. But
yeah.
there's so much talent. I am so uh, just in love with Redwood Primary because
Yes,
I took a trip down to Jamaica and I had a chance to visit the school, and they're just wonderful people. And
yes.
we have an ambassador coming out of Redwood Primary.
But again,
Yes, and I'm telling you now, she is a A1 host. When I went there, she just welcomed me. The entire
Mhm.
school stopped and they did the maypole for me, and I heard the students recite the different poems. And oh my God, my head just, as I say, Jamaica say, it swell when you
Yes.
when you
And
recognize
your
how.
heart bursts with pride. Yes.
Yes,
These are
yes,
our children.
yes. These are our
Yes, they are wonderful. They really are. Well, I'm not sure who will win. I know Redwood have won, I think, more than once, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
You know, but yeah, so we're looking forward to whoever wins because we know that that person will be the best of the best.
Yes,
Because as you say, Jamaica's best. You know,
yes.
our children are our best legacy. We're
And
so proud of them
and
and
I,
happy to, yeah,
And I want to say shout out to Mr. Peter Gracie too for
yeah.
what a wonderful concept,
Hmm.
what a wonderful vision, and
Yes.
it's good to see the vision becoming. The scripture says to write the vision and
Make it plain.
make it plain
Hmm.
for an appointed
Hmm.
time, and that appointed
Yes.
time is now. And I'm glad to see it materializing and coming to fruition. Proud of all the different positions and the individuals that are involved in making this is make a reality. So
Mm.
it's going to be successful. Okay,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and I
He's a very progressive thinker. You're right.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it's like his mind is always turning over. You know, he's always thinking of what next.
True. Yes.
Where do
Yes.
we go from here? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about your. Now we spoke about this is Jamaica for a little while.
Yes.
You're down there in Central Florida.
Yes, I
And
am.
you are the president. Okay,
Yes.
and sometimes I get the letters mixed up, so it's the Jamaican.
Go ahead. I'll let you
Uh,
try. It's
uh,
you want me to
Jamaica,
help you?
yes, Jamaica American.
You've got it so
Okay,
far.
okay. Association of Central Florida. Ah,
Perfect.
yes,
Perfect.
yes, 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 yes.
Yes, the premier.
The
We are the
premier.
premier association here.
Yes.
40 years next year.
Wow. Wow.
Yes, so that's
40 years.
not, yeah, no mean, that's a very, very long time. And people are learning more about us as the time goes on. You know, we've become a brand name. And especially since this hurricane, you know,
Yes.
a lot more people have learned about us. We've been on the television, the vice president and I, we've both been on the television a lot. And so people are hearing more about us.
Okay.
And we had a very successful hurricane relief
Yes.
effort, very
Yes.
successful. There are things you haven't seen yet. We have videos
Yes.
of people who received the supplies and
Mhm.
how grateful they are to have
Mhm.
received them. So it just makes you feel good. You know,
Yes.
I know there were others, thank God, who
Mhm.
were part of the effort to help Jamaica, but what we did, we're proud of. And
Okay.
we hope to do more.
Yes, and I know you. I had Mr. Vittel Smart on a couple of weeks
Yes,
ago. Vittel's a
that's
good friend of mine that we grew up with in Austin, New York.
right. Hmm.
We spoke about the the hurricane effort, and
Hmm.
we had a few videos. But I always welcome more videos. The
Oh,
success
yes.
story, and as the information needs to be spread
Yes.
around of how
Yes.
to react to situations such as a hurricane. Even since that hurricane, we have I don't know, Milton just came through.
Milton, yes.
Yeah, so
And
how is that
Helene.
going? Mhm.
Helene was even worse than Milton, it seems.
Yeah.
More people died from that.
Hmm.
Yes, Milton did his best to disrupt our lives,
Hmm.
but thank God, most of the people in Central Florida were not as severely hit as we expected. He
Hmm.
hammered and he shouted and he banged and, he carried on. He did.
Hmm.
But thank God there was not too many loss of lives
Hmm.
from Milton. And most people, they said their lights were out and so on. Maybe some were in a day at the most,
Hmm.
but where I am in Ocoee, there was very little damage to my home. The
Okay.
lights didn't even go out. So
Mhm.
we're blessed. So we're really praying for those who were really severely impacted from Milton.
Okay, very good, very good. You all keep on doing the great job that you're doing.
Yes, thank
Um,
you.
I have a standing invitation to come down and enjoy myself down in the area. Uh,
Yeah.
and I will make my way down there sometime during the before the year ends. Uh,
Okay, I'm going to send out an invite to you because we're having a we're having a New Year's gala.
okay, all right,
So I hope you can make it to our New Year's gala, which will be in December, obviously, December the 28th.
okay, the
Yes.
28th.
So it's a
Okay,
pre-New Year's.
it's a pre.
So
Ooh, that's even
yes,
better.
and
That means
it's expected to be really fancy.
okay,
We always go full notch anyway. We're always
all
we
right.
always yes. So it will be really nice. So I hope you can come.
Oh yeah, well I'll put it on the calendar and we'll try. I'll try to work it.
Yeah.
Make it sure. I have several stops to make during the Christmas season, and
Yes.
make that one of the stops. I have a brother that lives in Orlando now too. My younger
Oh,
brother
excellent.
just moved into the area there, so
Yes.
I've got family there now. So
That's not the brother that I met.
no, that's not my
Introduce me.
brother. No, that's not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my younger brother. You haven't
Okay.
met him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me now, Joan, how is the poetry going with you?
Oh, it's going well. Because of my responsibilities with two associations, I've kind
Yeah.
of put it on the back burner a little bit. But I
Mm-hmm.
do have another book, and I
Okay.
have all the poetry ready for that book. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited about it. Really am, because it's again dedicated. The title of that book will be Dignity.
Wow.
And yes, and there's a poem in the book called Dignity, and it's dedicated to my mom.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
And when you come on Jamaican Explosion, you mention a poem, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Yeah, well,
Well, I have old poems, I have new poems, so.
what about that dignity one? Because
Oh, you want to hear Dignity? Okay.
dignity. Let's get dignity ready for the audience here.
Put a song on while I find it on my phone.
Okay, no problem. We can do that. Do that, folks. We're on Jamaican Explosion this evening. I'm glad you're able to join us. And I have Miss Joan Edgehill, and she is the vice president of This Is Jamaica, and also the president of the Jamaica American
Association.
Association of Central Florida. Okay, we're gonna
Got
get it
it.
all down. Got it. And
You got it.
he is also a writer. Wow, among different things, a poet, and so many hats that she wear. And
Cancer survivor, Christian.
okay, all we just got some very powerful people
Yes.
working with us in on the This Is Jamaica uh, um, um, project. That it's good to just let you know that these are folks that are well versed, that takes the time out to help
Yes.
out This Is Jamaica. So you still need a song, or do we talk through that? You got it.
I'm ready. I've got it.
Okay, you see.
It's
All right,
okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I am ready whenever you are.
Okay. Dignity by Joan M. Scott Lewis. As you know, that's my pen name, Scott
Okay.
Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Self control you wear like a gown with style and eminent fashion. Snugly and flawlessly fitted, it falls elegantly to the ground, delicate and sophisticated. Your words so soft and tender, your attitude serene, with a voice sweet and mellow, you render what you mean and mean what you say without obscenities or disdain. You do it in the most delightful way. Never hot, bothered, or perturbed. Your temperature refined, for you care how others feel when you speak what's on your mind. You carry patience like a purse clutched closely to your chest. Your smile is real, your walk is true. The embodiment of dignity is you.
Wow.
That's my
Oh,
mommy.
oh, that is so lovely. That is so
Thank
lovely.
you.
And
Thank
and
you.
and that is out in a book already, or
It's not ready yet,
it's
but
not ready yet.
it will be the title of the book and it will be in the book.
Okay, so we're getting it first hand.
You got firsthand, yes.
Wow, that is
Yes.
such
Thank you.
a big dignity, dignity.
Thank you for letting me share.
Of course,
Yes.
always at all times. Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
the book that's out there is Still We Smile,
Okay.
so that's on
Yeah.
Amazon already.
Mhm.
And if I have time, I'll read one from there too, one of my favorites from
Okay.
Still We Smile.
So we could get one of those here
Yeah.
for us, and folks. I'm glad that you're able to join us this evening. And this is This is Jamaican Explosion, and we have Miss Joan Edgehill uh, on with us this evening, and she's just treating us to some great poems that she's actually the writer
Yeah.
of these poems, and she is the vice president of the This Is Jamaica uh, um,
Yes.
competition. where there are poems that are read by students from different elementary schools down in Jamaica, and they come together in a competition where they use their own style and their own little fashions, and they present the poems, and then there's a champion that's chosen. And I believe I had some information on that as far as the prizes and surprises that
Yes.
goes along with
I can tell you what the prices are.
okay, and I think I'll have them on screen. So you
You
just
have
go
it?
ahead.
Okay, there you go.
Hmm.
Yes, 1,000 first prize,
Hmm.
second prize 500, third prize 250, and then the school of the first prize winner also gets $500.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Okay, and I see
all
that,
US.
and I see this year that that many we have a lot more schools than last year
Hmm.
participating.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
I'm so happy about that.
okay, wow. So, all right. So, Miss Joan, she has a poem from her book. This one is entitled "And Still We Smile." Or
Yeah, the book is called Still We Smile, but the poem that I'm going to read is one
right.
of my favorites.
Hmm.
I've got several favorites, but this one is Don't Try to Limit Me. And
Love
it's
that.
got a little bit of an attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Okay, all right, all right, all right.
It goes this way: Soaring like an eagle, emboldened, free to fly solo, but I'll gladly take you on this spree. Just don't try to limit me.
Mm,
Don't clip my wings. Don't trim my sails. With eyes ahead, all systems go. The power within propels me to worlds unknown, visions yet to behold. I fly so high, motivated to be me. Beyond the clouds, I persevere. It's tenacity that keeps me here. The air is filled with electricity, the wind and rain, my best friends. This storm, it enables me to higher ground, gliding over mountains and hurdles set before me. These challenges, merely an opportunity. Daunting insecurities have nothing to do with me. Blind negativity will not disrupt my flight.
wow.
Woo! I'm gone.
Oh, another powerful one. Another powerful one.
Yes,
Ooh, ooh.
yes. That's how I was feeling when I wrote that. And
Yes,
as
yes,
Peter will tell you, it just comes to you.
yes.
From something that's said, something that's done.
Mhm.
It just spurs a poem.
You
So
know,
yeah,
I can't wait until we have the get together function for all the This Is Jamaica individuals,
yes,
and because
you,
there will be so much talent and
yes.
there that wow, wow, the
Amazing. They're an amazing group. I am
amazing group.
blessed and honored to be a part of This is Jamaica. I really am. And the group that we have on the board are just wonderful.
Wow.
It's no I. It's all about the association. It's all about the organization and the children. And I love that.
So go ahead and tell us again. So all the contestants have been chosen already, or is there still time?
No, it's we the deadline is it's shut. So we have no more registration. And as
Okay.
I said, I think it's over 60 when last count.
Ooh,
Maybe
ooh.
you would know better than me, but it's quite a lot of them. So there are no more registrations. So
Mhm.
now we're just waiting for them to submit their videos,
Okay.
and then we can judge. And the criteria is the same as last year. It's
Hmm.
based on their accuracy, their physical appearance, and their presence, their
Hmm.
diction and enunciation, and
Hmm.
creativity and originality. So each of us, look at the videos and decide which one we like best. We grade each criteria 5,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then the one with the highest, you know, wins, of course. But we're not the final. We go through that, and then the two final judges In the past were always Dr. Thorpe and Miss Nicholson, Sophie
So,
Nicholson.
Nicholson.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
So let the process begin.
Yes, I'm really, I was so happy to be a part of it. It was exciting. And I'm just as excited this year.
Yeah.
We're still hyped. We're still hyped about it,
Mhm. Mhm.
because it's wonderful what it's doing for the children. We know that, and we're just happy to accomplish our mission, which
Yes.
is to empower the children of Jamaica,
Yes.
through poetry.
And I do intend to, at some point in time, between now and the next summer, I
Yeah.
will I will get down to Jamaica and visit a couple of the schools, because I that's the eye point for me, going down and actually seeing the students, and they see you as a little they as they want to perform for you when
Oh,
you go to
yes.
school. They want to show what they have, and
Yes.
and they want to bring it to the world. They're so I must say, and I'm not being I'm not gonna be just saying that I'm all about Jamaica, but
Hmm.
I must say that the children in the school and down there in the school of Jamaica, they are all superstars.
Yes.
Yes.
We Jamaicans are a little bit like that. We all think that we're amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
I was watching a video, an interview with Shaggy, and
yeah.
he was saying in Jamaica, when all the big stars come,
Mhm.
Jamaicans don't get excited. Like when some people are really excited to see
Right.
whatever, Whitney, whoever it is. He says we don't get all that excited because we all think we're superstars.
Yeah,
Everybody, yeah.
every Jamaican is a star
Yeah, in our own right.
in their own areas of expertise.
Exactly.
Even in some areas that they're not experts, they're still stars.
Yeah. It's just the way we were brought up.
Right.
I don't know what our parents did, but they
Uh,
gave us that confidence.
we
Most of us.
we're not going to let out the secret. We're going to do that. What Mr. Bowl told them. Uh,
Right.
all about them think about that one. It's all about the yams.
Yeah, right. I don't know what it is, but I know there is this inbuilt confidence that we have. We don't think anyone is better than us. We don't necessarily think we're better than you, but you're definitely not better than us.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I
are
think
proud.
that's why, yeah, and that's why we can go all over the world and survive.
Mhm.
We're everywhere.
That's
Sweden, England, Russia, probably. We're everywhere. And we can survive because we think we
yeah,
think we can.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, I love that about us.
And I don't think we think I know that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so Joan, it's been a pleasure to have you with us again on this
Thank
this
you.
time, and you'll be on up from time to time, and we'll have some footage. Hopefully, next time that you come on
Yes.
with some of the contestants as they contest for the big prize. Like to show some of the contestants before you get to the actual finals.
Right,
So people
right.
can see the talent that we have in the This is Jamaica program.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say
Let me
yeah,
let me just let
go
me
ahead.
just say this. Is
Mhm,
that
mhm.
okay? I just want
Go
to
ahead.
say to everyone out there, go to our thisisjamaica.org website to learn
Mhm,
more, and all our other social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, I believe. So
mhm.
go to the thisisjamaica.org website and you'll learn more about This is Jamaica.
Okay, very good. Thanks again, and next week we'll also have another person that will be coming on to speak a little bit more about the This is Jamaica poetry contest that's going on. Joan, thank you
Thank
again,
you.
and keep up the good work down there in Central Florida. I'm gonna put that New Year's party there on my
Yes,
list of to
yes.
supply.
And I want to give this quick plug. I'm going to a party next week, and
Okay.
that's the Jamaican Cultural Connection. They're having their Heroes Party
Hmm.
next week. So our association, and probably this is Jamaica too, want to
Hmm.
go and support them.
Okay, and I think I have something on that I will bring up a little later
Okay, cool.
on the program here. But
Yes,
it's been my pleasure to have you
thank
here this
you.
evening. And we have another gentleman from down in that area coming on to give us some uh, a little bit of news from what's happening down in the Florida, Caribbean area, and so forth. So we want to
I'll
say
be watching.
yes, please do, and
Thank you.
we'll talk. Okay, Joan.
Thank you. God bless you.
A good friend of mine would say, "What good."
Well, good, man. Bye.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much for
God
stopping by
bless.
to an explosion this evening.
Breakbeats.net.
Yes, indeed. On a Monday evening, Pastor Robbie here. This is Jamaican Explosion, and it's just my pleasure to be here with you this evening. Ah, great show going on so far this evening, and I have coming up in a second right here, Mr. Clarence, and he's going to be bringing us some information from out of all around the diaspora. And then we'll have Mr. Kabian up a little later with the strength to breed. So Mr. Clarence is going to stop by here. He's been on the program before, educator, media personality, and entrepreneur. And I want to find out what's going on with Mr. Clarence. So let's go ahead and bring him on to the Jamaican Explosion screens once again. Mr. Clarence Reynolds, how are you, sir?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome once again, and it's good to have you
Mr.
back.
Robert Shaw.
Yeah, yes, yeah. That's me. That's me. That's me. Okay. So what's going on, Clarence? What you been up to lately?
Call Karen for me.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
I'm not hearing anything.
Okay. So he's working on his
No, the audio is off. See?
okay. So he's working on his
It's not
audio.
on mute.
So we're gonna get back.
Oh, check. It's not on mute.
Put it on. Make sure I don't see my face on there.
No, but it's not on mute.
Make sure I
Look.
don't see my face.
Okay. So we're gonna turn his audio back on, and we'll
Yeah.
come back to him in a second.
Oh,
Hello,
Yes. Are you?
Robert.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes, sir. I'm okay. So we have Clarence. I'm hearing you, but your picture. You turn your camera off. Okay, so he has to get back on camera here, and we'll just give him a few more minutes. Mr. Kabian is waiting online, so we'll probably
Get
just
back on the phone.
yeah.
okay. All right, very good. Okay, until we get him straight, we'll probably speak with Mr. Kabian. We're gonna bring Mr. Kabian back a little later too. But Clarence, we're working with you, and we'll work to get you on in a second. Okay.
Z.
All right. Okay.
Z. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Kabian, how you doing?
I am ready.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we have Clarence coming up here just to give us a little rundown. It seems like we just want to let the folks know that you're coming up late a little later, so stick and stay, and we'll have Mr. KBN up in a few. Okay, KBN,
Definitely ready to go. Yes, sir.
ready to go tonight. I can't wait. I
All
can't
right.
wait. Okay, all right. Okay, let's. I'll get Mr. Okay, Mr. Clarence. Are you hearing me now, sir? Yeah. Let me see here. Yes, sir. Are you hearing me now?
I am hearing you.
Okay, so now we have it all set. Okay. All right, sir. So what's going on with you, sir? Since the last time we spoke.
Hey, busy, busy, busy. As you can see, I have on my Jamaica soccer football shirt.
Okay, all
I have a
right, all
game
right, all
tonight
right.
against Honduras at the office.
Okay,
Jamaica versus Honduras in the office.
okay,
Uh,
and that starts at what time? In a couple of minutes?
It's on shortly.
It's on shortly. Okay.
Yes, we just
So
need a draw to stay on top of the tables.
okay, so what does the tables look like now? What does it look like right now at the tables?
We are right. We are right now on top of the tables with at maximum, almost maximum points.
Okay,
But
so who are
the bottom line is we just need a draw to stay on top of the tables in this group versus Honduras tonight.
the other teams
We
in your group?
last week we have
Your group.
we beat last week we Monday we played Nicaragua. We beat them 2-0. Right.
Okay.
And yeah, and the other two groups in the group. Just a minute, just a minute. You're confusing me. Turn that off. Yeah, the other two teams in the group.
Yeah.
We have Costa Rica and Panama, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
but so far Jamaica is doing good.
Okay.
And we have a new coach, as you know, out of England, and the gentleman from the other gentleman left,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a new coach who is really trying to get the team going. And we're still trying to get Leon Bailey to play, but he's not that fit right now.
Okay, but he's back with the team though.
He's back with the team after
Okay.
that. All of that hoopla is back with the team. So the football is getting stronger and stronger.
Okay.
Stronger and stronger. So we're looking forward to the big World Cup in the future. But right now we're trying to get these
Yeah.
preliminaries
But you know, yeah.
together. So go Jamaica,
Yeah.
Reggae Boys.
We're rooting for them here, and we want to see them succeed. Okay. So what's going on otherwise within the entertainment world, the Jamaica entertainment world that you could fill us in on?
Oh, the Marley Boys are
Okay,
touring
Marley's are
right now.
touring. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're touring. They're touring. I think they did a show in Miami last weekend. I'm not sure exactly where the next show is, but the Marley Boys are back and
Okay.
they're touring.
So when we say the Marley Boys, who are
The
yes,
Bob
well, I know
Marley's
that they're Bob
sons.
Marley's sons, but which ones are
Yeah.
are 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 the ones that are on tour?
You have
Mm-hmm.
Ziggy Marley, you have
Yeah.
Stephen Marley, the Gang Marley, and I think the other one is Rowan, but five of them
Okay.
on the
Wow.
road.
Wow.
Yes, 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 yes. They are backed by popular demand. The
Okay.
Marley Boys are the Marley's Bob
Okay. Great.
Marley's son. So they are
Okay.
touring right
That's
now.
good. That's good. Now, since we spoke, Clarence, the last time, someone
Yes,
of a famous artist out of Jamaica have re-entered the dancehall scene, and
yes,
and
yes,
it seems like
yes.
all the everything that I see coming out of Jamaica is around this individual, Mr. Vibes Cartel. So
Yes, yes, yes. The
okay,
presumptive world
yes,
boss
yes, yes.
and presumptive
So
world
let's hear your
boss.
spiel on all of this.
Well, his show is coming up January
Okay.
December 31st
Yeah.
at the
Mm-hmm.
National Stadium, and I'm hearing that the tickets are going great so
Okay.
far. It's gonna be a spectacular
Okay.
event. Buju, I don't know how it will compare to Buju coming out of jail and
Yeah.
being back on the circuit. And he's coming back out of jail after 13 years being back
Uh-huh.
on the circuit. But um, listen, in terms of entertainment, it's going to be epic. Notwithstanding the type, the nature of the
Okay.
person. Yeah. So I know people who love Vice Cartel looking
Yes.
forward to that show.
Yes. I
That's a
know
good
that.
one.
But I have heard that the tickets are like
Pricey.
price price to say the
Very
least.
pricey. You have to sell a cow and a donkey. I'm go to that show. Couple. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. Uh, so I understand that show will be sometime in around the celebration times at Christmas time.
Yes, yes,
No?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Incidentally, that show will be at Sting. I'm not sure if Leng is gonna have Sting. I haven't heard any launching of Sting as yet, but
Right.
everyone was saying Leng do not do Sting this year because you can't compete with Cartel, even though it's not the same weekend,
Right.
notwithstanding.
Right.
So
Right.
Leng will have to lay off Sting for now. I haven't heard any launch of Sting as yet. So I think Leng may just decide to wait till next year to resume Sting and just let Mr. Cartel have his way this year. See?
Okay.
Duh.
Well,
The-
the people haven't seen him in a while, so I guess everybody's and all the fans
yes, the dancehall fans are waiting for him.
are waiting for him.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll have more on Vibes Cartel's upcoming
And it'll
show.
be Vice Cartel and friends. So it's Spice and maybe Popcorn and some other artists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's gonna be around the Christmas. I will get to that direct.
Yes, that will be the New Year's Eve, the 31st. The
Okay.
big show in at the National Stadium. So they are putting the pieces into place
Mhm.
as we speak. Yep.
Okay, very good.
And
Very
in an entertainment scene, of course, the Buju Banton and and oh my God, Buju Banton and Beres Hammond are doing their show again in
yes.
Plantation Cove.
Yes,
That was
yes.
big last year, so around the same time, early January. Yeah,
Okay. So we could
yeah.
see
Buju Banton and Beres Hammond doing their show in Plantation Cove in January, early January, and Buju is right now in Canada doing another show in Canada.
yes. And
Yeah.
I believe he's with Grams Morgan on that show.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And hey, hear this one.
Yes.
Teaming up February 14th in New York.
Yes.
Big show coming up there.
Okay.
Here it is. Beres Hammond, Sean Paul, and Shaggy. January
Wow.
14th, a big show in New York. I love a show in New York.
So
Right there, UBS Arena. That's gonna be an epic one.
you said that's January 14th?
Yes, no, December, no, February 14th,
February
Valentine.
14th,
Yes,
Valentine's Day shows.
that's gonna be a
Okay.
big show in New York.
And you
Yep.
said Barry Salmon,
Barry Hammond, Sean Paul,
Paul.
and Shaggy.
Okay, all right,
Yes,
okay, all right.
that should be a big show.
That sounds like a big one coming up pretty.
Big show.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So
It's a
and yeah, yeah. So the entertainment space is full with reggae artists and dancehall artists doing their thing all over
Mhm.
the place. Yeah.
Okay. I don't hear of anything happening in the Atlanta area, so we have to try to bring some folks. Well, I know the Marleys were here a couple of weeks ago, I believe,
Okay, great.
and also Grams Morgan and Bush
Yeah.
came through a couple of weeks ago. So I
Yes.
can't really say that they're not coming through the Atlanta area. Uh,
Yes.
so they're making their tours. So, but it's good to know that the entertainment is on the move. And the entertainment scene is on the move. Now, tell me a little bit about this past hurricane that passed through the Florida.
Well, yes. So I'm in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale area.
Mhm,
Most of the hit was in the western part of Florida. The West Coast got
mhm,
got the big hit. So the
mhm.
East Coast was not damaged as the West Coast, Tampa, Sarasota, around that corridor.
Hmm.
It's fair to say on the East Coast, for example, a place in Port St. Lucie, tornado,
Mm.
they got hit with a tornado. But for
Okay.
the most part, the hurricane affected the western part of uh, Florida Peninsula, not the East Coast. East Coast being the Atlantic Ocean side. So, for example, in the Fort Lauderdale area, we had a minor flooding, and that's it. But Tampa, Sarasota, all that area got hit big time. I mean, it could have been worse, but it was enough to send shockwaves around that part of the state, with aids coming from Washington,
Mm-hmm.
FEMA, and Mr. DeSantis getting monies to get stuff moving in Florida. It could have been worse, but we are very, very concerned about the loss of life and loss of property. But
Hmm.
hey, people are strong, Floridonians are strong, and we're moving on.
Okay. So it's good to know that it didn't do the damage that was forecasted
Yes,
to.
yes, yes, yes.
What we'll say we are blessed.
We're
Uh,
blessed. It could have been worse. We lost lives with Helen, and um, but it could have been worse. So
mm-hmm.
give thanks anyway.
Okay.
Hopefully, the other hurricanes coming will just die out and leave us alone for the time being. But it's not thy will; it's thy will be done. Right?
That's
Acts
correct.
of nature. Acts
Correct.
of nature.
Yeah, and we know that if he's going to bring us to it, I know he'll bring us through it.
Yes, give thanks
So
and praise. His mercy endureth forever.
that's right, sir. So what's going on with you
And
on your
one day
personal
at a
end?
time. Well, I'm a realtor down in Florida, so I have for example, give a good example in
Right.
light of the hurricane.
Yeah.
So last week, none of the insurance companies would do hurricane. I mean, homeowners association policy.
Mm-hmm.
So some of the deals got backed up pending homeowner association policy to get them moving. So that's a big concern in Florida and other parts of the country when it comes on to insurance. Insurance cost is very, very high in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And there has been call for the governor to convene a special session up in Albany to deal with the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it's not easy, all right? It's not easy. Insurance premium is in through the roof
Mm-hmm.
in Florida. In Florida. But
Mm-hmm.
we need legislative action to correct that. And some insurance companies are pulling out of Florida. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
capitalism at its best. I mean, they're losing money. They move on. No care about the people. See,
Mm-hmm.
dollars and cents are dollars and no cents.
All right,
Yeah,
Clarence, I hear you.
part of that process. Mm-mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so real estate is premium down here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Hurricane issues may dampen the market a little bit, but overall the market is strong right now.
Mm-hmm.
And my team doing our best to satisfy the needs of our customers.
Mm-hmm.
And my company, Reynolds International, is on top of things in that regard. So that's
Okay.
what's going on in real estate and insurance and housing in general. Of course, we see the Miss the Vice President Harris putting on the table
Mm-hmm.
um, proposed policies to help um, individuals who need housing because there's a shortage of housing for underserved communities all over this country,
Mm-hmm.
Florida included, I know Atlanta included. So there's a need to build more low income or middle income homes to satisfy the need because the rent is too damn high. And there's a need for more home ownership across the board.
Okay.
And so that's what's going on in real estate.
And I know that you actually moved with the vice president's campaign for a little while. How is that going? Because I know you're in
Oh,
that.
Yes, so I'm with the Springs Parkland Democrat. My wife and myself were on the board, and we just have some T-shirts ready. And we had in fact, prior to your meeting tonight, my board had a meeting to look at planning out strategies up to the 5th of November. Who's going to
Mm-hmm.
man the office? Who's going to do early voting? Early voting starts next week, Monday, here in Broad County, the county I live in.
Mm-hmm.
So we have individuals will be out there manning early voting from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that starts next week, Monday. We're doing some canvassing, and we are getting the word out because Broad County is a strong Democratic stronghold,
Yes.
but
Mm-hmm.
Broad County alone cannot carry the state. So we need the entire 60 plus counties to be active so we can get things moving. So we're doing canvassing, postcards, we're making calls, and we're moving right up to November 5th with this election. No, Georgia is in the mix too.
Of
Georgia
course.
is in the mix, and Georgia going to cross the line for Harris.
Yes.
And
Yes. Right.
Florida, notwithstanding, we think
Yeah.
Florida can cross the line for Harris.
Yeah. It would be
Yeah.
great if they both could. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
You know.
yes.
And I'll have someone on the program within the next week or so to speak about how the Georgia campaign is going
Yeah.
for the vice president. And
Yes.
the word is she has to do a lot more with men. What do you think about that?
Well,
Black men
it's
in
yeah,
particular.
it's well, men in general, yes. The polls showing more men supporting Trump than Harris, and she's so that's a factor there.
Yes,
And of course, more women supporting Harris in the polls than Trump. I
yeah,
guess the abortion issue is a big issue,
hmm,
so we'll see how this will play out in the end. But that's a given that more men would supposedly support Trump over Harris. But in terms of getting to the black men,
hmm,
we're trying our best here in South Florida to make the cause and get the vote out across the board. We have local candidates down here, Jamaicans included, who are commissioners, etc., etc., etc. We push voter registration strongly among men, younger men, first time voters to get them on the voters roll before the date expired. So we'll see what happens if we'll really keep the momentum going up to the 5th. And of course, voting, we stress vote by mail. And
hmm.
my wife ballot and my ballot is sitting right here, ready to go. So we can't rely on the November 5th in case we have a natural disaster, right?
That's
Right?
correct. Hmm.
So that's very important. Vote by mail, even though the other side thinks the hocus pocus, but vote by mail is the easiest way. You just sit down around the dining table, do your ballot, put
Hmm.
it in the mail, or bring it to the nearest box.
And do
One,
it.
two, three.
And
And-
as a former manager and postmaster myself,
Ah,
I
now
would
it.
I would tell folks to do it early. You
Yes.
don't want to be waiting until the last.
November
Yeah,
5th,
so
5, November 5th, polls down here close at 7. And
yeah,
November 5th, people 6:30 trying to run to find the polling place. And it's the wrong site.
yeah, and
Telling you.
I speak on my fellow managers who are still working that
Yeah.
if the ballot comes in at 6:30, then the managers are the ones that have to run it down to the
Yeah.
to
Oh,
the,
no.
to the
Too,
election,
too
run down to election office and get everything down there at a certain time. So go ahead and get it down as early as you possibly
Yes.
can. So your ballot won't be one of the last one that's straggling in.
So we push our people to use the technology, vote.com,
Yes,
and use the technology to make it happen because we're in a technological age. We're in
yes,
a social media age. So use the
right.
technology to make it happen. Vote.com. Vote.com. So each and everyone has to play their part to get the vote out, regardless of which party you support. Vote,
That's
vote,
correct.
vote.
That's
Make your
right.
vote count. That's the bottom line.
Okay, all right, Clarence. Mr.
Yes.
Reynolds, you gave us quite a bit of information here. And, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on. And, I look forward to whenever you want to stop back in here and give us an update on anything that's hot on.
Yes, 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 yes. November 6th, we're going to have a big celebration here in Florida and around the country for our first female president of these United States. And that's
Okay,
what we're shooting for. We are positive that victory is ours, and we are putting the pieces together in our state and other states who have we have links to get the vote out so that we can have victory November 6th.
but you said Florida, but particularly which area? Because I have our Orlando that reports with us too here. So this is down in the Fort Lauderdale area,
It's South Florida,
South
South
Florida.
Florida,
So you're there.
Broward County and Palm Beach
Yes.
County and Miami-Dade County in
Okay.
particular. Strong
Yes.
Democratic stronghold. And of course, there are individuals who are trying to put a wrench into the process to discount the vote or to, but we're not going to let that happen. Our people will be
Very good.
voting. All right. So I begin ready. My media blitz is out there doing this thing. People can link me up. Reynolds International 95463752210. Reynolds International Media Marketing and Promotions and having
Yes,
fun in
sir.
the
Yes, sir.
process.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
thank you for all that you do within the diaspora and all the different areas that you cover. And it's my pleasure having you here on Jamaican Explosion when you have the chance. So we look forward to the next time you stop by. Okay.
Yes, but quickly, we have our burn victims coming up to Atlanta for
Okay.
treatment on a
Talk to me
regular
about that a
basis.
little bit. Mhm,
Stephen Stephen
mhm.
Joseph, who heads the foundation down there. He coordinates a lot of those pieces. If you recall the Burger King explosion down there
Oh
in
yeah. Yes.
Kingston. Yes, we had one of the victims who was
Mhm,
severely burnt, and he's on top of that, trying to get the burned individuals up to the Atlanta for treatment, and he's very instrumental in helping many of the
mhm.
burn victims um, get stuff done. And this young man, he has helped burn victims in the past, and he's getting an order of OD, order of distinction,
Oh,
order of what? OD, order
distinction.
of the what? Order
Yeah.
of distinction. Oh
Yeah.
my God, OD. He's
Yeah.
not being OD'd. Is the better OD? Yes. I may be running down there next week for Heroes Weekend or next week.
Okay. All
Monday's
right.
Heroes Weekend.
All
Get
right.
it together. Yes. So he's getting his OD
Mhm.
next weekend down there in Jamaica. Next week, Monday the 21st is Heroes
Okay,
Day in
wow.
Jamaica.
So Clarence,
Yeah.
hook up with me and we get something about that next week.
Yes.
Since you're gonna be in the area, and hook up with me while you're in the
Yes.
area here. We can have a little talk and do something on the show next week. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes. Always nice talking to you. And I hope Atlanta is going to be in, I mean, Georgia will be in the winning column for Harris. And we're pushing for our people to stay positive, stay strong, and just keep on keeping on and keep on
I will
fighting,
say
not giving
one
up.
more time before we
Right?
go. Go
And
Jamaica tonight,
register,
right?
register.
Go ahead.
Go Jamaica.
I said
Come
we're
again.
gonna say it one more time for the Jamaican team this evening. Go Jamaica.
Go Reggae
Okay.
Boys. Victory tonight against Honduras office. And where's the office? Jamaica. So the game is in
No,
Jamaica, probably going on
very
right now as we speak. All right. So we have to support the reggae boys and we have to support the reggae girl. Right now, the reggae boys is in focus and the team is gelling and the JFF is doing a, they are trying to hold things together, and we're hoping that we can gel the team towards the World Cup. 'Cause we're far from 1998. We have to
Yeah,
get back to the World Cup. So this team and this
and it's a
management know we
process.
can
It's
do
a
it.
process. It's a
And it's
process.
a process. It's a process. All right. So bless up the Atlanta crew, bless up your listeners and your watchers, and
Thank
we'll
you,
talk
Clarence.
again
Good to
soon.
have you, and we'll talk again. All right. Very
Blessings, enough blessings, enough blessings. You trying to talk to me? Yeah, enough blessings.
Reggaebeats.net.
Yes, indeed. On a Monday evening, it's approximately 9:31 here in the Atlanta area, and wow, we've been having a great program this evening. Jamaican Explosion with you, and some very important individuals that stopped by this evening, including Antonio. And I will get the information up here in just a second for you so we could remind you of all the different individuals that came by this evening. Clarence was one, Joan Edgehill, vice president of This is Jamaica. Antonia Dawson was here earlier and spoke a little bit about mental health with us. Big show, thing that's happening in the Atlanta area. Well, actually, in the Lawrenceville, is that Lawrenceville over there, the Calp area, at the front page lounge on Saturday, and I'll put that flyer back up so you could learn a little bit more about it before I leave. And a very strong brother himself, and we hope to get him with KBN here one of the days. So both of them, I would love to hear both of them go at it on as far as speak the speak black man movement and mental health among black men and how we ought to be aware. But right now, it's time for Mr. KBN to come along and do his section. And I'm glad that he's able to join us this evening. And without any further ado, I'm going to bring to the stage Mr. KBN Brown as he comes. How are you today, Mr. KBN? Is your volume on? Turn your mics on. Not getting your mic.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, 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 yes,
All
sir.
right.
Loud and clear.
How's
Okay.
that? There?
Okay, KBN, what's going on, man? It's been a week or two or so
Yeah,
forth. Yeah.
three or three.
Oh, yeah. So, what's going on in the mental health arena, and what are you presenting to us this evening as we do the section that we entitled "The Strength to Breathe"?
Three. All right. So October, usually every month I try to let you know what's going on mental health wise and what's going on for the month. So
Mm-hmm.
October is the National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month.
Mm-hmm.
It's also ADHD Awareness Month,
Mm-hmm.
and it is also Bully Prevention Month. So
Mm-hmm.
amongst those three things, there's a lot of things that October is looking out for as we get closer to the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I wanted to talk about while mentioning those months with depression, mental health, and ADHD, something that's relevant every month for people who have it, and then bullying, which is relevant every month because it sometimes leads to depression. So
Mm-hmm.
talking about how these connect, and when it gets closer to the winter or in the seasons, they call it seasonal affective disorder. So a lot of people might get sad around this time because of the seasons. It's also because of a lack of sunlight. Like I don't know a lot of people when they realize when it gets cold, they stay inside more.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sometimes they call it cabin fever when people are in the winter and they're stuck with snow. They call it cabin fever because after a while you start to get anxious, upset, depressed, just sad.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when Corona first happened, or COVID first happened, and everybody was stuck inside. It felt good not to go to work, but when you realized you couldn't go outside, you start to get cabin fever, or I guess
Yeah.
seasonal affect, some form of depression, right?
Mhm.
So one of the things I wanted to go over this month or today was seasonal affective disorder with National Depression Month, and kind of just tying it together with, I guess, maybe some religion or some difference in the definitions, like hope versus faith.
Mhm.
Just understanding, are they the same or are they a little bit different?
All right now.
Um,
All right.
and going to church and things recently or this week, I think there's a difference, but there's a foundation where a lot of people might go through sadness during these seasons, and
Yes.
it's sometimes wondering, are you absent of hope or are you absent of faith?
Mm.
Um, and when it gets colder, or when the season gets tougher, or when the season gets colder and more harsh, a lot
Okay.
of people lose hope and sometimes lose the faith. So
Mhm.
what I wanted to do is go ahead and put it together and let people know what it is and how it works, and kind of try to blend mental health and the spiritual aspects, because I believe there's a core to it. So the definition of faith, it says faith is a strong belief or trust in something more spiritual, while hope is the expectation of something good happening.
All
Meaning, I
right.
hope I'll get a raise. I hope I'll get a raise. But if I'm faithful in terms of what I'm doing, how I show up, how I'm act, the raise will come. The relationship between hope and faith is that faith is a foundation for hope. What does that mean? It means that you cannot have faith without having some type of hope, because hope keeps faith alive. And without faith, there is no type of hope. In order to have faith in something, you have to believe in what's not there. You have to have a divine, or I want to say spiritual for those who are not spiritual. You have to have a different type of connection, uh, a divine connection to whatever you're connected to. But
Mhm.
when you have hope, it's more or less like, I hope this happens. You more wish it on luck, and it's more like, it could happen. I hope it happens. Is where faith is, I know it will happen.
Mhm.
Hope
Mhm.
is something that motivates people to strive for better, like better outcomes in the future, while faith can keep somebody and give somebody a sense of stability, right? So I think a lot of times when we go through the seasons and it gets tougher and we realize, hey, um, at the end of the year, it's getting to the end of the year and I didn't meet all of my goals and I didn't come across with all of the things that I wanted to do. I want to go get my family this gift and spend this much money, and I wanted to get a raise by the end of the year. And sometimes we lose hope, and sometimes we start to get sad and start to get depressed. If we have that faith, which keeps us through the sadness, which keeps us through the cold, then the hope can never really die. So what I wanted to make sure is that when we go through and when we get into the coldest winters ever, depending on where you are, we
Mhm.
remember how to make sure we keep our hope, and while at the same time maintaining hope, we keep our faith. Faith can imply that there's a deeper spiritual connection and commitment, and a lot of times when people do connect with whatever that divine spirit is, they
Mhm.
feel full of hope. They feel full of connection. They feel like things will get better. While
Mhm.
hope can be applied to various things, it's usually temporary and in the moment. Hope, I would say, in terms of putting everything together, is can be like a person with ADHD. I hope this happens. 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 Where faith can be, as described, as somebody with tunnel vision. I'm focused on it. It's going to happen. I know that this happens. Even if I got my ups and my downs, it will work. So that's what I'm just trying to make sure that in the seasons, when we get through the seasons, since September was Suicide Month, we make sure that we understand that October is National Depression Month, and also ADHD month, and also bullying month, because as it gets colder and there's less sun, people
Mhm.
tend to get more depressed.
Mhm.
Another thing to help with the depression or the sadness, is getting sunlight. Sunlight is vitamin D. So sometimes you might have to ask your doctor, let me get a vitamin D pill, because these things, having no sunlight, literally takes away from the happiness and things that you feel, and also causes some forms of depression.
Mhm.
So just kind of knowing your environment also helps. Remember, in the wintertime, we have less sun. It gets colder. Daylight saving times happen, and
Mhm.
our moods do change. Um, so going back to seasons and hope, like I said, the difference between hope is that hope is the stepping stone to faith. And while faith is believing that something is already existing, it's already happening, it's already in motion, hope is just the attitude that something will happen, maybe it'll happen, and I'm
Mhm.
wishing on a star. You cannot have faith without hope, but you have to make sure you keep hope alive to make sure that the faith is enduring.
I love that. I love that. Coming from a psychological perspective,
Mm,
because we speak about hope and faith in the church at all times, and you are right with your descriptions of what hope is, and we have to keep hope alive, yeah, but and we have to be faithful
mm,
and lean and depend on our faith in the spiritual realm, though, we said our hope is built on nothing less but Jesus' blood and righteousness. Coming from a pastor, I just had to put that in there. So it's not a blind hope, but it's a hope that we placed in the Almighty One, that if He brings us to a situation, He's going to bring us through that situation. If uh,
mm,
if any situation that we go through, it will be for us, serve some kind of purpose for us, either to warn us, to teach us a lesson, or so we are going, if we have hope, it's not going to be the event that we're going to be partaking in or open for. It will not be in vain. It will be something that will enrich us. So our hope is built on the righteousness. Faith, we speak about faith, of the evidence of things that are not seen.
mm.
Well, I'm just kind of putting what you say, and it's right in there. And I love that definition, that of what you presented there. Okay,
And
so
I'm glad you brought it, because I said, you know what, today if I was going to bring up any scriptures, I looked up some just in case I had to bring some, because it says so for you, when it says hope, it says Hebrews
yes,
11 verse 1 says, now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the
for
conviction of things not seen.
seeing evidence of things not seen, yes. So you're right. It's right there.
Hmm.
I'm gonna jump on it. I'm going to jump on it. We have another person coming in here with another in the chat, and we're going to try to get it here. As we know, we want participation at all times.
Hmm.
Uh, with us, Miss Gracie, of course, one of our favorite persons for this section. She she says 100%. Thanks, Miss Gracie, for tuning in. Yes. So um, yes. What's it seems like October then has a whole lot on it as far as mental health is concerned, and when the seasons change, or the time changes back from what we're changing from daylight saving time to Eastern Standard Time. Is that what
Hmm.
it's going to be?
It
Uh,
is. I don't know if it goes up or more, but we'll probably get more time, so it probably goes back, so we get more sunlight.
right, 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 right. Okay, so that's what it is, or yeah. So
It's my
fall,
best guess.
yeah, fall back. Okay, spring is forward, so we
Forward.
fall back. So we'll
Mm.
get a lot more sunlight in the
Hmm.
morning hours, and less sunlight in the evening hours. Yeah,
So that means in the fall time, it's best to get up early and start your day off. If that's when you're going to get the most sun,
right.
those who sleep in late will probably feel the effects of going through a long day. Those who get up early and get the sunlight and start off different
Yeah,
will do something. So in this last fourth quarter, in the fourth quarter switch, that's what we're bringing our home. Do something different. Switch up your last 3 months. Get ready to do your vision board.
mhm,
Don't get stuck into the depression and the seasonal, to get your vision board to know what 2025 is going to bring you, and how you're going to get it. Again, when you do goals, you got to be specific. A lot of people say, I'm going to the gym for New Year's. A lot of people don't say how much weight they're going to lose or what they're trying to do after the New Year's to make sure that they stay there.
yeah.
So, again, hope without faith is blind. So, do what you
All
got
right.
to do.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna have to put it to work, put everything to
Mm.
work.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Not particularly looking to forward to those 5 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, when it gets dark too early.
And
Not
cold.
yeah, cold, somewhat cold down here in Atlanta. Yeah, somewhat. I gotta say somewhat because I've lived in different parts of the country where I could really say that's cold. You know what I'm saying?
True.
But yeah, that combination of the less light in the evening and the coldness can, I guess it can it puts a lot of individuals in a depressed mode, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And you said something about the lack of sunlight.
Lack of sun, yes. So sun, like I said, sunlight is vitamin D. And when people go out in the sun time, you think of summertime,
Mhm,
people are usually happier. They stay outside, they do more things, not because just it's hotter outside and it's not cold, but the
mhm,
sunlight also makes people happier, literally. By the sun rays, you get the vitamin D. So sometimes if you're ever lacking and the doctor says you can either take a pill or you can go outside in the sun. And when you're going outside in the sun, it's just literally to connect with nature and
mhm,
feel the rays. But seeing how some places, like you said, don't have it,
mhm,
people in Miami, minus the hurricanes, people in Miami are usually good around the winter time because they're able to go outside and seasons don't really change. As opposed to like when you say New York, Chicago, places where it gets really cold,
mhm.
it makes a difference.
Yeah.
So that goes to what they call, like I said, seasonal affective disorder, or in short, it's called SAD. That's literally what it's called, SAD, but
Mhm,
seasonal affective disorder because people's moods, literally their affect, their emotions literally change when it gets cold and changes in the winter. And especially during holiday times, if people have passed away, it's
mhm.
also a time where we're doing a lot of celebrating. And if
Yeah.
you're feeling less fortunate or don't have those, or this is around the time of grieving, then that's when things really kick in.
Mhm,
So this is when people really start to pick up with counseling and things of that nature because they really go through it. And if they don't have a support system, this is also a lot of times when
mhm.
people feel it the most.
Okay, very, 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 very good here. Got a little comment here coming in from Miss Gracia, she always likes this part of the program here. I said, I know this is the season where people struggle a lot, and I know a lot of people put their decorations to make it last longer, but is that really the reason? And is a question and
This is a question she asked herself.
yeah, What do you think decorations help out the season and getting ready for the festive
I
season? Right.
I definitely think so, right? Because decorations for some people, for a lot of people, because you're putting up your decorations, is a
Mhm,
way to bring yourself your own type of enjoyment.
mhm,
In a way, it's also can be sometimes a rites of passage or just kind of remind you of childhood. Like I know, growing up, I used to hate putting up Christmas decorations because I'd always have to take them down, but it was something that my dad would make us do. Now that I'm getting older, I look forward to putting up Christmas decorations and putting them up and seeing them light up. Even if nobody else does, it's kind of just like something that reminds me of what Christmas used to be. So it can be. And like I said, sometimes putting up Christmas decorations for people, they put it up in honor of people. And sometimes it brings them sadness too because of what it might bring. So lasting through the New Year's, there's also sayings that if you keep it up after Christmas, and it's good luck to carry lights into the New Year's and things like that. So there's a lot of traditions. There's a lot of saying. Some people just keep it on for 14 days. They
mhm,
kind of just go through the last 2 weeks. Some people put on their lights after Thanksgiving and keep it literally all month.
mhm,
So it really depends on how you do it. But for some people, literally, it brightens their day, brightens their night. It's what brings them peace. And a lot of people put a lot of effort and pride into lighting up their decorations and putting up their lights. And if they have nobody, then that's something that they can just sit there and really self care. It is can be self care. How do
mhm,
we know we're dealing with seasonal depression? Is there such thing as seasonal depression? There is a seasonal depression. Yes, there is a such thing as seasonal depression. Literally, what we're talking about today. The criteria. There's a criteria. What we do is, as a therapist, to have something called a DSM, which is the Diagnostic Statistical Manual. Diagnostic Statistical Manual, which tells people, which comes up with criteria for different type of diagnoses. And for seasonal affective disorder, there are some symptoms like there's low energy and increase.
Okay, we'll wait until he connects back. I think you just had him freeze up there for a second, but we'll have him back in a second here. All right. Okay. So yes, we're in the middle of speaking to Mr. KBN Brown, the strength to breed, and he's right back here. So we'll get him right back. Okay, go ahead, KBN.
Oh, did I
Go
cut out? I didn't even know I cut out. I'm sorry. What's the last thing you heard?
Yeah, you cut off just for a second, but we have you back now. Uh-huh.
All right, so I was saying some symptoms of seasonal affective disorder are low energy, increased need for sleep, changes in appetite, loss of interest in activities, and feelings of hopelessness or being easily irritable. And it could look like stress, but it's just like if this is going on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's happening, and you notice that it happens between late fall or lasting kind of through the winter, then
Mhm,
it's literally going through this seasonal affective disorder. And
mhm,
like I said, some of the symptoms of some of the causes could be the reduced sunlight, like I said, because
mhm,
of the lack of sun disrupts your circadian rhythms.
mhm.
Your blood gets all type of nutrient from the sun, vitamin D. You have a decrease in your serotonin levels, and
Okay, I think he dropped out again. Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay,
I don't
that's
I don't know why I keep dropping out.
all right. Well, let's keep going.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
It's like I said, how to manage some seasons of seasonal affective. We use a light box, so if you can stay under light, they have some types of some of those light machines that do like photo light or kind of synthesized light, and it
Mhm,
improves your mood and your energy levels. Exercise because it raises your serotonin levels and gets your blood going, and usually you're never in a bad mood, or if you're in a bad mood, by the time you finish working out, you feel tired and you feel a little bit better because you did it. You feel accomplished, and it's something, and it's because you've set a goal for yourself.
mhm,
That's why you'll feel better, because you accomplished. Having healthy routines like getting some sleep. You ever feel good after a good night's sleep? Like, man, 8 hours,
mhm,
especially if you don't get it, you feel good. You feel like you accomplished something.
mhm,
And lastly, just going ahead and seeking counseling. Right, I always mention counseling because counseling, it can be so effective. And in these seasons, you have EAP if you just need to go through the seasons and get some sessions. Um, yeah, so those are some of the symptoms. Literally just having acute depression. It might seem irritable, but it lasts literally through the seasons. And by time January comes, February comes, you feel like, man, I'm better. I don't even know what was going on. I was just going through a time. But if you notice it happens every season, then that's what we call seasonal affective disorder.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. KBN, for explaining all of that good stuff to us. So we know it. And then I know we have all experienced a little bit of this at some time or the other. And I know we could put a name to it. And I do encourage you though to go out and get some counseling during the period if you find that you're too depressed or feeling too depressed or you're feeling a little bit under the season or affected by the season. Don't keep it to yourself. You know, there's help for, and you know, you seek out a counselor. And KB, and tell them where you are and where you can be reached again if someone wants to reach out to you.
All right, so you can reach me on Instagram. It's gonna be, well, my personal tag is K as in kangaroo, B as in Bravo, N as in Nancy, Sigma, LCSW, or you can reach out to me on my agency through SOSCCG LLC at Instagram. So Sam Masker Sam, Cat Cat Goat, Lima Lima Charlie. And did it cut out?
No, 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 you're here.
Oh, okay. And then you can catch me on that or just send me an email, kbrown@sosccg.com. And if you feel like you're going through SAD or seasonal affective disorder, literally just go ahead and Google diagnostic criteria for seasonal affective disorder. Don't just Wikipedia it. Google diagnostic criteria, and it lets you know what is the criteria for this and how do you know if you're experiencing it, what to look like if you're experiencing these symptoms, and what to kind of do to kind of manage it and treat it. All right, so never just Wikipedia, always look for the diagnostic
Mhm.
criteria.
Okay. All right. So, wow, that's some good information there. And we look forward to what you'll have coming up for us in the coming weeks.
Mhm.
We make our way through the fall, but then it's also heading into the Christmas season, the Thanksgiving and the festivity season. So we'll have a lot to talk about during those periods, the high points and the low points, uh, and and um, how we could just make ourselves a better healthy mentally,
Mm.
let's say, or get our mental health in check. I'm not sure if you saw the gentleman that came on earlier with me today, and they're having he's a mental health expert that's going to be down at the front page. Let me see if I still have the flyer. I'm trying to get him up here, and they just reached out to me and asked if I would let the community know about this gentleman coming to. His name is let me get his information back up here,
Okay.
and I think it'll be somebody that you definitely want to hook up with.
Yes. Let me
Uh,
connect with him.
Connect with him, ex policeman from Jamaica that is also trained in mental health and so forth like that. His name is Antonio Dawson. Antonio Dawson, and he has a movement called Speak Black Man movement, as far as helping black men with dealing with mental health issues. And I was letting him know about you, and I'm letting you know about him, and I'll put you directly in contact with him, and he'll be at the uh, 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 front page center in Litonia, Georgia, this coming Saturday. I'm gonna get that
Yeah.
information for us before we go again. But
Okay.
yes, so it's great to have you, and we look forward to having you back again within the coming weeks. Okay.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
And very well. Okay. All right, folks. Mr. KBN, we'll talk to you later.
All
And
right.
looking forward to the upcoming episodes with you. Okay. Very,
Okay.
very good. Okay, folks. There we have it. Another episode of Jamaican Explosion. I enjoyed this one here. This was a real great effort episode right here. Mr. KBN, of course, always on time, always knowledgeable. All the knowledge that he drops on us every week. God just continue to guide and keep him and keep his family together, and everybody in in good health. Of course, Miss Joan, I want to say thanks to Mr. Joan Edge Ill for stopping by today and informing us about what's happening in the This Is Jamaica program, and Mr. On Antonio Dawson, who will be at the front page lounge this Saturday from 12 o'clock, 12 p.m. Okay? And then we want to say thank you again for stopping in until next week, Monday, when we have a whole slew of people lined up. It's Pastor Rob saying, good evening, have a good night, and walk good.